Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. That's Angelina Kelly. And Leeds United 2, Manchester United 4. And we watched the watch-along. Just give us first of all, your thoughts on that game as a game of football to watch.
I mean, there were moments where the football wasn't great from us.
Right.
But on the whole, to sit and enjoy a game of football that Man United were playing, it was just nice. It was a nice change. Like, you constantly watching like the same merry-go-round of, half decent first half, get a goal. Second half, within 10 minutes, we've completely messed it up. They get a goal, and then it's a 1-1 or whatever. It wasn't like that, and we saw a lot more passion, a lot more fight, obviously, with it being the fixture that it was. And it was actually a lot more pleasant to watch than other games have been recently. So just that alone, I'll take that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, obviously, to get a win like that against Leeds, it's massive, isn't it? So
It is. We'll go back to the start, which seems like about 3 days ago, to be honest with you. There's so much going on in that game. I feel exhausted. United don't score from corners, do it? Unless it's
the 140th corner.
We waited, we saved it, best to last or whatever. We finally got a goal from a corner. Harry Maguire as well at the end of it.
Yeah, amazing. I think we spoke about it on the watch along. He's the kind of player that needed a goal. All the stuff that's been going on, and to get one from a corner is massive. And you just hope that this will now set the wheels in motion for more, because 139 corners without a goal is pretty shameful. But no, I was dead happy for Maguire. I know there's been so much criticism. So much talk about him, and a part of me understands that. A part of me feels bad for him because, I think with that price tag on his head, it's always going to be difficult. But he's not been performing at his best. We're seeing it step by step. He seems to be getting a little bit better, and I think the goal was, the icing on top of the cake, and hopefully that will give him, a little kick that he needs to continue, getting better.
As a captain, just quickly on Maguire, he seemed to be it was a bit more of a captain type thing today, wasn't it? A performance, because he was very vocal, and he can be vocal, but he was seen more so getting in the ref's ear, kicking off with Leeds players. I don't know. I mean, would you get that from him, or do you think he's just noticed a bit more?
I agree.
Usual?
I definitely noticed it a bit more, and like what you've touched on before about like the players getting involved and being gobbing off a little bit. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You want, you want a bit of gobbiness. And to see Maguire, like protecting his teammates like that and speaking to the ref when things weren't right and all that type of stuff, that's what you want to see. But yeah, I think he was definitely a lot more vocal. I don't know, maybe he's been watching previous Man United captains and taking a note. I don't know.
It's not the most, daft suggestion, because when we spoke, me and McCullough met Harry Maguire a few years ago. Macca did an interview with him. We couldn't use it because it was for a Puma boot, and then the lockdown happened and they changed the boots. They didn't want us to use it. But we did a little pop quiz with him about United captains, and he said he spoke to Brian Robson a lot. You can't, there's arguably the greatest captain ever. And he knew a lot about United captains. To me, he obviously does care and do his own work. It's just not been happening from him. One of the players that people suggested should replace him as captain was Bruno Fernandes. He obviously got the second goal. What do you make of his performance today?
Really good performance. I mean, he was losing his head a little bit towards the end of the game. Which
I'm going to clip that up. I'm going to use that for every single post-match reaction for anything ever with Bruno.
Literally.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's really good, but then as a captain, you've got to kind of,
even
if you are fuming, you've got to be able to kind of keep it level. You can still gob off, but you've got to keep it level. You can't be just making these rash tackles. How he didn't get he didn't get carded.
I don't think he did, which is amazing, because there was one where he didn't get the foul he wanted for their equaliser, and then he blatantly went and just flew into someone a minute later.
Like Roy Keane levels of revenge there.
And the crowd were going berserk, and he amazingly, he avoided a booking. Just on the sort of subject of goal scorers, Fred came on.
Shocked us all.
I owe him an apology. I said it massively weakened our midfield.
I agreed with you, so apology for me
because I thought
as well.
Paul Pogba was more or less running the show in midfield. But Fred, me and you both had the same thing where I think it took us a split second to realise that was a goal and not the side netting.
Jaw dropped to the floor. Brilliant goal.
Fantastic goal.
Absolutely
On the near
amazing.
post.
And this is what frustrates me about Fred, is that he has these moments where he does, he'll make a great pass or a great run, or he'll score a great goal, and then he just does stuff that's like really frustrating. But listen, I'll take a goal where you can get it. Do you know what I mean?
I don't care if he picks it up and throws it into the net and gets away with it.
Exactly.
It's a goal. It's a goal.
Cracking goal. Really happy for him. And I think the thing about Fred is, as much as people will criticise him, he loves that club, I think. I think you can see the passion. And again, he's always in the mix when it's kicking off.
He loves
he's
it.
He's the first one in the middle of it all. But he just seems to he is a trier. I think the effort is there, although it's not always great. But I think,
Do you know what?
I just think the passion's there.
This is a good
honest.
point, this, because Rangnick seems to view Fred and Pogba almost in the same position. We see him swapping him, where Ollie obviously viewed Fred as more of a DM.
Yeah.
Rangnick seems to have gone into DM. He is an 8, or he is a more attacking type player. He's got a couple of goals under Rangnick now, which for him, he scored 2 goals in whatever it is, 10 league games, whatever it is for Rangnick, which is not amazing, but better than he was doing. Do you think that there is a role for him in this team as a sort of, maybe not a starter, but someone who can come in and offer us an attacking option, or do you think we need to just keep on using him as we used to?
No, I think that idea of using him more, kind of coming off and doing the stuff that we've seen, I think is definitely a good shout. Obviously, we still need reinforcements in midfield, because
I couldn't agree more with that.
You're getting however many good moments from Fred, and maybe he'll continue and he'll get better, but you can't just hope that Fred's going to have an all right game and get a goal, or make the right passes, or he's a little bit inconsistent. And I think it's great to use him the way that Rangnick's been using him, because it does seem to be working. Like you say, he scored a couple of goals under him. And obviously, seems like Pogba is probably going to be leaving. And he's not a replacement for Pogba at all. But I think it's whatever way you can get the best out of him, to be honest. But yeah, it depends. Still need reinforcements no matter what.
We do. And just, again, the final goal scorer, Anthony Elanga, came on, got hit by a coin, celebrating Fred's goal. Disgusting. We all know that. Should have scored. Jadon Sancho gave him, didn't say on a plate, but a very easy chance that you'd expect him to at least make the keeper work a lot harder than he did for it. But then got his goal at the end. I mean, what do you think about Elanga? Because he's got the best chant we've heard in years.
Yes.
He's obviously only 19. There's more levels for him to go. This season, do you think he can play a big part, because he's played quite a lot under Rangnick? Do you think he's got a lot of games left in him for Rangnick this season? Do you think he's someone we can rely on?
100%. As we talked about on the watch along, being a young player coming into a team, especially a team that's not doing well at the moment.
No, it's not.
It's not easy.
No.
I can't imagine that's easy. And to come in and it was his second Premier League goal, I think, wasn't it? But to come in, score some goals, and show again what people have been looking for, that fight, that passion, it means a lot to fans. And I think there's definitely, for the rest of the season, I see him still playing a role, obviously, due to different circumstances, we're players down for different reasons. So the space is there for him, and he is taking his opportunity. And he's using it well on the whole, from what I've seen. And also, what happened with the Middlesbrough game and the penalty situations, that's not easy. And
it's a good shot. I almost forgot about that.
I know. I think we've all wiped it from our memory. But as we're not taking penalties in cup games, but I can't imagine that's easy. And to be able to bounce back from that and to keep pushing and keep trying, I've got a lot of respect for him, and I hope he continues to use it.
Do you know what? You make a point there, because after the Middlesbrough game at the end, I don't blame Anthony Elanga for that result. But why, if you're blaming a 19-year-old for missing the 16th penalty in a shootout against the Championship side at Old Trafford for costing you a cup game, you're off your head.
But he faced abuse
He did. Of course, he faced abuse or anything nowadays. But I remember after the game, Ronaldo was obviously, you could see Ronaldo was saying, listen, this is on me, not you. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah.
Today we saw it, Junior giving him a bit of grief when he was on the floor. The players just rounding on Junior. We saw it when he got coined. I think Harry Maguire was mentioning, saying something to the Leeds fans or whatever, or talking about it after the game. Seems like the players are taking Elanga under their wing a bit, which is good to see, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I think when there's been so much discussion at the moment of, is this a team of individuals, or is this a team of a group of players that have that respect for each other and that kind of on-pitch care for each other and all that different stuff, the camaraderie and all that. And I think you're kind of seeing that with Elanga in the way that they're treating him. And I think we've seen the team be a little bit more together in general over the last couple of games, I would say, the Brighton game, obviously this game, etc. But yeah, I think they're definitely taking him under the wing, because at the end of the day, we're seeing it in the media so much, especially, young people, especially men, and especially black men, and, mental health and, just being aware of what's going on and all this different type of stuff and the abuse that he's faced. You have to be, it seems like they're aware of that. Maybe he does need that little arm around him. And I've got a lot of respect for that we're seeing that, especially on the pitch, because you need it, don't you?
And exactly, you do need it. And let's not forget, the reason he's in the United team at 19, being relied so heavily upon, is because he's got a lot of talent, hasn't he? He's obviously shown that. Just finally, I'm just looking ahead now to Madrid. I mean, couldn't have gone much better, really, in terms of giving us a bit of a boost before we go over to face Diego Simeone's side. How confident are you feeling going into that game on the back of this one? Does it matter as much, or you just think because it's Champions League and it's Atletico Madrid, we can't look too much into it?
No, I think definitely if you've come off a really good game, then yeah, that's going to put you in a good position. And I think to win the game that we did, it was gritty, it was aggressive at times, and it was enjoyable, I'm sure, for the players. I'm sure they'll be happy and celebrating. So to then go into a game in a couple of days with that under your belt of, you know what, they scored 2 goals, 2 very quick goals against us, but we were able to come back from it. We didn't sink. We didn't, dip our heads and get moody. Maybe Fernandes a little bit towards the end, but you know what I mean? But they took it in the stride, and I think that's going to be a massive thing with Atletico. They're a very good side, as we all know. They've got some great players. But certain players that we've got in our squad, the Champions League is their favourite competition. Like Ronaldo, maybe, he'll come good in it, as he did in the group stage. So yeah, I'm feeling confident. I don't know if I'll be still feeling confident maybe tomorrow, but at the moment, I'm feeling confident, and I will take that for now.
I'll take that as well, and you're feeling confident. Gritty, aggressive, and enjoyable. That's how Manchester United roll. Make sure you're checking out Angelina Kelly on the socials. What's the socials to find you out?
Angelina Kelly. Just so
I've forgotten that. Is that what it is?
No, literally, Angelina Z Kelly, Angelina Kelly, something along those lines.
You'll find it. Just Google it or whatever, or search it, you'll find it. Make sure you're checking out the rest of the videos on the channel. We'll have a reaction from Macola, from House, and we've got mine and Joe's reaction as well. And if you're not doing subscribe to the channel, that's been Angelina. I'm Jay. This has been a reaction to United winning 4-2 at Leeds. Thanks for watching.